All right, we talked in the earlier video about how buyers misses certain steps, and it costs them thousands of dollars at the end of their journey. Now we're going to be talking about how sellers can miss their mark, and it can cost them their home.
Sellers often forget about these hidden costs when selling their house. Stay tuned to this video and let's explain them.
Let's go into the video.
So one of the biggest costs you're going to pay out when you're selling your house is the commission. You got to pay your agent the commission because the agent works really hard to sell your house. And when you're a seller, you're only responsible for your agent's commission. That's the whole point of the whole lawsuit in 2024. That's why there's now decoupling of the buyer and the seller agent. You no longer have to pay the buyer's agent commission. However, if you want to sell your house faster and you want to get the most amount of money possible for your house, you're usually going to pay the buyer's agent commission up front for the buyer because most buyers don't have the money to pay their own agent out of their own pocket. So that's just kind of the standards that sellers are paying the buyer's agent out of the proceeds up front. You're making that money in the back end on the sales price of your house, but you're just paying for it up front. But you're responsible for paying the agent's commissions out of the proceeds of your house. Now there is no standard commission, so don't get that in your head. There's a standard commission. All commissions are negotiable. So the commission that you pay agent A may be one price versus what you pay agent B may be another price. So what Aalia and I charge may be a totally different price from what you pay an agent down the street. So there are no standard commissions. There may be a flat fee, there may be a percentage, there may be totally separate amount of what you pay your agent.
So what do you actually get for that money that you pay that agent? So I know we can talk about us. Our money we pay out of our pocket. We actually market hard at your listing. Not only promote you in different groups, so local groups, moms group, because I am part of multiple mom groups, teacher groups I'm a part of as well. Same with Chad here, he's part of multiple different groups. We also make sure we reach out to our fellow realtors to see if their buyers are in need of your home or your home style that will fit them first and foremost. So it kind of drives your house a little further. We also have exposure through our YouTube channel. So if you're watching, thank you. You're one of our viewers that helps promote our listing here as well. We negotiate. So let's talk about negotiations, Chad.
We work really hard on behalf of our buyers and sellers. We negotiate on your behalf so you don't have to negotiate. We are expert negotiators. We try to get you the most amount of money possible for the sale of your house. We try to get you the best terms for the sale of your house. If you need post-occupancy because you need a little more time to move out of your house after you close, we work really hard to get you the best possible terms for the sale of your house. We always work on your behalf.
All right, so another hidden cost for sellers, and they tend to forget about this as well, is closing costs. You know, costs that pay at closing, hence the name. So the closing costs actually consists of the title fees. This title company, whatever title that you and your realtor goes to, they're working diligently trying to make sure all the property is cleared and there are no liens against the house before closing. The clear to close is happening. Transfer taxes, the taxes that you
the taxes that you pay to the state and the local municipalities to transfer that clean title from the seller's name to the buyer's name. Both you and the buyer both have to pay transfer taxes because the state always wants their cut of the sale.
Recording fees, Chad, what are those?
Recording fees, you always have to pay recording fees to record the new title with the Register of Deeds. The Register of Deeds, they want their cut also, so you have to pay new recording fees. You, the seller, pays the recording fee, and the buyer also pays a recording fee. Just something you have to pay. You can't get away from it. You just have to do it.
The closing cost comes with either within a typical percentage for your local municipality, or is a flat rate cost that is given to you based off the title company's structure, or even the lender fees as well.
In Wisconsin, title costs are a flat rate. Every title company charges the same amount, and it's based on the price of the selling price of the house.
So most people who are selling their houses actually kind of forget about this. What are they, Chad?
So repairs and pre-sale updates. So if you want the most amount of money for your house possible, you want to make some repairs before you even put the house on the market. But those add to your costs when you're selling the house. Tidying that banister that goes up to the upstairs, repainting rooms, repainting the ceiling, maybe repainting the outside, putting new gutters on the house.
Maybe that new mailbox, because that old mailbox keeps getting hit by cars from your drivers in your house.
Maybe Aalia has a thing or two to say about that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I'm in denial.
Plead the fifth about that one,
Yep.
right?
So also the curb appeal.
Staging and curb appeal. I
Yep.
know that next.
Yep, staging
Go
and
ahead.
curb. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Staging
All
and
right.
curb appeal.
So a curb appeal, especially, you want to attract those buyers that would come in and literally park, and they are amazed with the landscaping. So make sure you reach out to a local landscaping company, and they can take care of you to trim up those bushes and cut those weeds out, kind of thing. So make sure you get that curb appeal going. Open up those sidewalks. The professional staging versus DIY, meaning that you're going to do it yourself. Staging, declutter. Get it off your counter. Bring in some fancy
furniture. Make sure that the room looks as big and empty as possible, so that the buyer can see their own furniture, their own stuff in the room instead of yours. Of course, if you're still living there, you have to keep your own furniture and your own stuff there still. But you want the buyer to be able to see their own stuff, imagine themselves living there instead of seeing all of your own stuff there. So like Ali was saying, declutter as much as possible. If you have kids, make sure that you're picking up the toys before every single showing. You don't want a bunch of little Hot Wheels cars laying the floor for the buyers to possibly step on it.
or the Legos that happen.
Those really hurt when you step on it. Most buyers will probably have their shoes on, but you don't want them to step on Legos or Hot Wheels cars when they're walking through your house and enjoying it.
So the next one is kind of attached to the commissions that we kind of talked about earlier, the negotiations about concessions. What are they?
Concessions and buyer credits. So when you're going through the process of buying a house, you do the inspection process. So during the inspection process, the inspector will find something wrong with your house. Even if it's a brand new construction house, the inspector will find something wrong with it. They're paid to find something wrong with it. It's their job. So during this process, the buyer will come back to you as the seller and say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we want this, and this repaired, or some kind of credit offered from you at closing. A credit is money off the selling price of the house at closing, so the buyer is paying a little bit less for the house. It's not a check written to the buyer at closing, it's just money off the price of the house. So, oftentimes sellers forget about this at closing. It's just less money that you're netting at closing, because you're not making it quite as much money at closing because you're offering these concessions, you're offering these credits, or you're making these repairs yourself. Say that the seller is asking for plumbing fixes. Your toilet's running, you have leaky pipes in the basement, and they're asking for the pipes to be replaced or fixed. So you have to spend $1,000 to have the pipes replaced. Well, that's still money out of your own pocket, money that you're making less on the sale of your house. Sellers forget to add that into the cost of selling your house. It's money that you're not making off the sale. Holding costs, Aalia. Let's talk about holding costs while you're not selling the house, in between that time that you're selling the house and in between the time that you actually get that money in your account. What are holding costs?
So the holding costs, most sellers, when they do vacate the home before they get sold, you're still paying the mortgage the longer that it sits on the market. The utilities that you need to make sure it's running, because you don't want frozen pipes in the middle of winter. That would be a disaster.
Do not turn off the utilities while the house is for sale. We've had sellers try and do that before, but you still have showings going on. We live in a really cold winter. You don't want pipes to freeze in the middle of winter, so do not turn off your utilities.
The taxes, you're still paying for the property tax because it is still in your name. So making sure the actual insurance, the home insurance, is also up to date. But you're still paying for it as long as it is sitting on that market. So you want to sell as quickly as possible. So let's take an example of a $325,000 home here in Kenosha. So you're talking about, let's first talk about the commissions. For your agent to list your home, market your home, literally sell your home, is about $16,250 from $325. Then
$325,000.
oh, they had $325,000. Sorry, I forgot the $1,000. Then you're going to take off again for the closing costs because we need to pay those title companies. The closing costs will be approximately $3,250. So that's on top of the agent commissions as well. So your house is not horrible, but you still need to do the repair and prep, right? So that's about $4,000 off the $325,000 offer price. And then you decide to go with a professional staging of your home, and that's about $2,000. The seller's concessions, meaning that you're going to, let's say, repair that leaky toilet or fix that handrail. That will cost about $3,000. And then the holding cost is $1,500 just to wait on.
Between the time that you put it on the market and the time that it sells. So this is just an example. This isn't set in concrete. And for example, if you don't do any of the repairs and prep work, that $4,000 comes off. If the house sells really fast, these holding costs could be lower. They could be higher if it takes a little bit longer to sell.
These are all approximate.
If you don't decide to stage it, that $2,000 comes off. Repairs and prep work, that could be lower, that could be higher. This is all approximate numbers. So how do you minimize and plan for these costs? So first you have to price your house right. Pricing it right to begin with is key. You want to make sure that you price it right so that your house gets the most amount of exposure right away, attracts the right buyers immediately, and gets the most amount of showings right away, so that your house isn't sitting on the market for too long and doesn't become stale. When buyers aren't attracted to it, when buyers think that your house is overpriced to begin with, it just keeps scrolling right on past it. They don't even come take a look at it. It just racks those numbers up, those days up. It just racks those days on market. And buyers think that there's something wrong with your house.
So pre-listing your home prep, listing out what needs to get done, what needs to be fixed up, kind of will help you with saving you money in the long term. Making sure your hedges are clean and cut, or let's say that decluttering, if you declutter right away, then you're going to save money on staging and all that good jazz. So listing out what you need to get done in order for your house to get prepared for the market is to make sure, one, to hire good realtors and provide yourself time and headaches is to declutter right away. So keep taking those stuff off the counters that doesn't need to be on it. Make sure those toys, those Legos are off the floor and put away right away. Maybe train or adjust the kids in order for them to do it themselves. That would also help time and money.
It's easier said than done, though. We know that from experience.
That's true.
And why marketing matters. So marketing is a big deal. A lot of realtors overlook this step because marketing your house makes a big difference. That gets it out to the masses. The more eyes on your house, the more potential buyers that you have that want to see your house or want to come in there and put an offer on the house. Then lastly, you want to choose the right agent. The right agent that's going to tell you the truth, that won't BS you, that won't sugarcoat things. And guess what? Aalia and I do that for our sellers and our buyers. We never BS you. We always tell you like it is. We never sugarcoat anything for you guys.
So selling a home comes with expected and unexpected costs. But with the right planning and the guidance, sellers can actually avoid all these costs and not be blindsided at the end. choosing the right realtor or realtors can help you save and net a good amount of money.
So make sure that you give us a call or shoot us a text at 262-331-1621, or grab one of our free guides down below in the description of this video. We're happy to help and can't wait to hear from you guys soon. You have a fantastic rest of the day, and we'll see you on the next video.
Regardless.
Tripping over your words too.
Yes.
Yep.
So we talked earlier.
Selling a house, sellers often forget about closing costs and things like that. Selling a house.
You can't say anything like that. You can't just give them. Remember? What did you literally just said what you wanted to say. That was perfect.
I like how you hit me. Very nice. All right, try it again.